Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany. If this is your first time seeing my face, I intermittently make videos about mental health and my journey to better mental health. And today I'm going to be talking about my journey with Zoloft. We're back on it, folks. We're back on it. So the last time that we talked, I was taking Wellbutrin because of insurance issues. I had to change providers and all of these different things. And so the insurance company that I was with wasn't going to cover the kind of sertraline that I need to take. I have to take the liquid form because I can't take pills because I'm a baby. But a little bit after that, I ended up getting back on Zoloft, and that was about a year and a half ago. And honestly, if you want the rundown on how I even got to the point of wanting to take medications to help my mental health, you can watch the previous videos. I don't want to bore you with a repetition of the details, but in essence, for my whole life, I felt like the dog in the burning house meme, and I've been begging, pleading for the bare minimum for most of my life, like the bare minimum meaning like stability. And I felt like there were just, and there is in some capacity, always things that are happening that it's not even like, oh, little T trauma, it's big T trauma. And I've just never had the opportunity to work through any of it because I had to just keep moving towards the next thing to keep myself alive. And I finally had gotten to a point where I wanted to take my mental health into my own hands, and I wanted to take accountability for my own happiness. And I knew that I couldn't do it without clearing the smoke first and giving myself the space to actually confront all the things that I'd actually been through and kind of face myself a little bit. So the way that I viewed taking medication was a means to clear the smoke so that I could deal with the fire in my life. And I started my journey in October of 2020. I was actually prescribed it at the end of August, but it took me a while to get to the point of like actually taking it, to do lots of soul searching to get there. But if you've seen my previous videos, you know this. But after getting back on Zoloft this time around, and the circumstances were different, I was a caretaker for my boyfriend at the time, and my view on mental health was not so self-serving. I needed to be well so that I could be a better pillar of support for him. And ironically, that made it a little bit easier for me to stay consistent, which is a whole other thing. You really should be able to do these things or choose to do these things for yourself because you deserve to be happy. But that's what I'm working on now. So I won't get too into it. But it did help me to stay consistent with my psychiatrist and my therapy appointments, knowing that I wanted to be better so that I could be better for him. And a lot of other things ended up happening that, again, I wouldn't have been able to, I don't know if I would be able to get through if I wasn't taking medication. My great-grandfather passed away, and he pretty much raised me. He's the patriarch of our family. He's someone that I've just always looked up to, and I never, I know it's silly to think this way, but I just never thought that he would ever pass away. Like, he just seemed like this eternal being that was above life and above God. And I felt like when he passed away, it was like God fell to the ground, and like it was just insane. But I think that because I was taking Zoloft and I had already started doing the work of clearing the smoke, and I'd started dealing with the fires that had been burning for the last 26 years of my life, I was able to deal with his passing with a little bit more grace. And even though I was sad, I allowed myself to feel the sadness, but not in a way that I was overcome by it. I was just sad because he was worth being sad for, but also I felt so grateful to be able to experience that sadness because I knew him and I got to experience him. And I don't want to say that all of this is because I was taking Zoloft. I also, like I said, I was doing therapy, and I was doing a lot of reading and a lot of introspection, and I was thinking about my relationship with loss and abandonment and all of these things. But I do think that making the decision to take a medication to help with my mental health gave me the space to be able to do those things in a way that I'm genuinely not sure that I would have been able to before. And I say that I don't know if I would have been able to deal with the fires without medication because we live in the real world and most of us work, we have a job, You might have kids, you might have parents that you have to take care of. And to be frank, a lot of us don't have the experience talking about our emotions in a way that's true and accurate, and we don't have the vocabulary to accurately describe what we're feeling a lot of the times, and it takes practice. A lot of us are really just trying to survive, because like depression and anxiety, it feels like inner turmoil. It feels like you're constantly at war with yourself, and I think that taking medication really gave me the opportunity to, experience a ceasefire and sit with myself and really figure out like the work that needed to be done for me to become the kind of person that I want to be. And I'm still not there yet, but I am so grateful that I gave myself the chance to get there, because genuinely I am the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. And I can confidently say, for the first time ever, and I've been taking Zoloft for 3 years, or I guess on and off 3 years. But I can confidently say that I am happy, and not in a way that is performative. I genuinely feel contentment with life, and even though things are hard, and to be honest, like I've had a very rough year. My boyfriend broke up with me, I was couch surfing for like 2 months, and I finally found a place, and my neighbor has a roach infestation, so I've been like literally fighting for my life for the last 3 months. But I've been able to find joy and gratitude in life and where I'm at in life, and even in the more difficult things that I've had to experience, I've been able to find gratitude in that and really just approach life with a little bit more intention and joy. I wanted to like kind of put that in there just because I know that a lot of people have their qualms around taking medication for mental health, but honestly, it's really made a huge difference in my life. And, maybe someday I'll like sit down and like, take you guys through birth to now, like all the things that I've gone through. But, I've had people tell me that they're surprised that I am where I am in life because of all the things that I've had to overcome. And I've got to say that this last year and a half has been the easiest, because I've really taken accountability for my mental health and my happiness. Taking an antidepressant isn't a magic pill for happiness. It's just to clear the smoke and give you the space that you need to figure out what needs to happen for you to be happy and to deal with all of the things that, you've kind of not had the time or space to deal with. And I think it's worth a try if you are struggling. And I don't know if I've ever described how I feel differently in comparison to before I was taking any antidepressants, but before it kind of felt like everything was the end of the world. What can I say? I'm a little bit melodramatic, so sometimes it still does feel like small things are the end of the world. But also, I know in my heart of hearts now that I'm gonna be okay and that I can get through it, and that everything that I need to be happy literally lives up here. And I'm the only one that knows how to make me happy, which is a somber thought. When you say it out loud like that, it is very, it's kind of depressing. It's like, why can't someone just come into my life and make me happy? But also, if you're living your life in such a way where someone can just come in and fix all your problems and make you happy, it also means that someone can come into your life and create unsolvable problems and make you deeply distraught. And that's not the kind of power that you want to give someone. Even if they do come in and they make all the decisions that on paper should make you happy, you're the person in this world that knows you the best. And so you're the person that's gonna have to figure out what exactly it is that needs to happen to make you happy. Sometime around the end of last year, I had the realization that I am too cowardly to unalive myself. I'm never gonna actually do it in a way that is permanent. And even when I really, really, really want to, I'm so scared of the possibility of surviving. And it's been 26 years and I haven't done it. So I can choose to go another 26 years living life the same way, or I can commit to living. And committing to living means that I have to figure out a way to be happy, no matter what. It is my duty to myself and the people that I love and the people that I care about to figure out a way to be more joyous so that I can be a better person to be around and I can be better for them and then also better for myself. Like, I want to be the kind of person that just enjoys my own company and is so confident and secure in myself that I like me and I like the person that I am, And even if other people don't like certain aspects of myself, it's not something that I would be willing to change to appease another person. And I do think that I'm getting close. I think the way that I live my life now is a lot more in line with who I want to be. So I wanted to circle back around to the idea of whether or not I'd be taking Zoloft forever. And right now, like I said, I'm not sure. What I am sure of is that I will take it for as long as I think that I need it. However, I'm constantly working to put out the fires that have accumulated in my life. And I'm doing that with the hope of just being able to cope better without medication. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't want to take Zoloft forever because I think it's bad. It's really just because I feel like there's going to be a point where I've done the work to be able to cope with depression, anxiety, and all of the pain points of life in a way that isn't debilitating. And when I get to that point, I don't necessarily think I'll need Zoloft anymore. I think I'll be able to kind of do what I'm doing now and experience sadness as it comes and embrace it for what it is, and know that when this sadness passes, I will be able to experience joy again, or even be able to find the joy in the sadness that I'm experiencing because I'm lucky to care about something enough to be sad about it, you know? And if that's not the case, then that's not the case, then I'll keep taking it. But I am pretty confident at this point that I'll get to a time in my life where I don't need to take it anymore, and the smoke will be clear and the fires will be gone, and I'll be able to plant seeds and grow plants and live in a world where I don't feel the constant fear of abandonment and loneliness, and everything doesn't feel like pulling teeth. And even when things are hard, it won't be unmanageable. It's like strength training, honestly. Zoloft is like my pre-workout for like, you know, like mental gains. Yeah. In conclusion, I think if you're watching this video, then you're probably going through some really difficult times, and your mind probably isn't being the nicest to you, and no one deserves that. You should be able to find peace within yourself, and sometimes you need a little bit of help to do that, because it'd be really nice to, like, you know, buy a ticket to some calm beach and just be able to like meditate and figure everything out. But unfortunately, we still have to deal with the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and sometimes you just need a little bit of help to get to a point where you can actually be happy and experience the joys of existing. Many apologies, my camera just overheated, so I'm gonna wrap this up before it overheats again. But long story short, you deserve to be happy. And the first step is realizing that you deserve to be happy and that it's possible. And there is no amount of trauma that makes you undeserving of happiness. And there is literally a way to climb even the highest mountains. You just have to want it and be willing to put in the work. And it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be comfortable. But a great place to start is talking with a mental health professional. Thank you so much for sitting through this video. I hope it was helpful, and if you did, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I'm back, ? I have a few videos lined up for the next couple weeks, and I'm gonna really try to be consistent because I'm really trying to, you know, take a hold of my happiness, and making videos is something that really makes me happy. So if you want to see more from me, consider subscribing. But if not, I at least hope that you found this video helpful, and I hope you know that you're deserving of love and happiness in this world. And thank you so much for stopping by. Bye!